Go.
Hello, my name is Sunny Hempkin, and this is Content Module 5, Geometry. We are going to go over Van Healy's level of geometric thoughts. We're going to go over 0, 1, and 2, visualization, which judges shapes by their appearance and what they look like. That is for kinder to first grade. Level 1 is analysis, sees figures in terms of their parts, and discovers properties of class and shapes. For example, triangles have 3 sides, 3 angles. Sides are straight, etc. However, still thinking that squares and rectangles are different classes and shapes. Level 1 is more for grade 1 or 2. And level 2 is informal deduction. Logically, previously discovers properties. They can deduce properties of a figure and recognize classes, for example, by using the definition of a rectangle. A triangle is a rectangle because it has all the properties of a rectangle. And that's more for level 2 is like 4th and 5th grade. There's also some other levels which we won't get into because we're elementary majors. Let's see, there is the key properties of Van Healy's model, which is sequential, which is a person must proceed through the levels in order to function at a higher level. Students must have acquired skills of levels below it. Number 2 is advancement, and that is progress or lack of it from level to level depends more on the content and methods of instruction received and not age. There may be high school students and adults who still operate at level 1 and 2. There are no instructional methods that allow students to skip levels. And then there's number 3, which is mismatch. If the student is at level 1 and instruction by the teacher, it is at a different level and desired learning and progress will not occur. Our key mathematical vocabulary is geometry, which is geo, earth. Metro, measurement, is a branch of mathematics concerned with questions of shape, size, relative position of figures, and the properties of space. Our instructional tools are going to be the shape cutouts, which are these right here. Tangrams, which is right here. We're going to use that for Grandfather Tang's story. And we're going to use the irregular shapes, which have different, they have curves and points, and they're not the basic shapes. Today we are going to be dealing with level 0 and 1, and these are the TEKS. Level 0 is kindergarten. Geometry and measurement, the student applies mathematical process standards to analyze attributes of 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional solids to develop generalizations about their properties. The student is expected to A. Identify 2-dimensional shapes including circles, triangles, rectangles, and squares as special rectangles. D. Identify attributes of 2-dimensional shapes using informal and formal geometric language. And then we have first grade, which is geometry and measurement. The student applies mathematical process standards to analyze attributes of 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional solids to develop generalizations about their properties. The student is expected to A. Classify and sort regular and irregular 2-dimensional shapes based on attributes using informal and geometric language. And this is level 1, and it's for grade 1. It's geometry and measurement. The student applies mathematical process standards, analyzes attributes of 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional solids to develop generalizations about their properties. The student is expected to identify 2-dimensional shapes including circles, triangles, rectangles, and squares as special rectangles, rhombuses, hexagons, and describe their attributes using formal geometric language. And grade 2 is geometry and measurement. The student applies mathematical process standards to analyze attributes of 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional solids to develop generalizations about their properties. The student is expected to C. Classify and sort polygons with 12 or fewer sides according to the attributes, including identifying the number of sides and the number of vertices. So we are going to go over level 0 and level 1. We have the basic shapes right here. Marlon is going to be my kindergartner or first grader. She is going to sort these shapes and tell me just basically what she thinks without putting any kind of like terms with the shapes. So can you do that for me, Marlon?
Yes.
Okay. So you have 5 different groups. And why did you group them like that?
Well, these kind of look like the door to my room because they're kind of long.
Yeah, they are kind of long.
These look like mountains.
Mountains?
Like in El Paso.
Yeah, or Colorado mountains, big mountains, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
This looks like my mom's mirror in her bathroom. It's kind of wide.
Very good. Okay.
And then these look like pizzas.
Pizza.
And these look like kites,
Really?
which today would be a great day for flying kites.
Yeah, it's really windy today, huh?
Mhm.
Okay, well that's really good. So she categorized just basically the basic, what in level 0, what she thinks she sees the shapes as. So now we're going to go over Grandfather Tang's story, and we have tangrams. She's going to do chow, and as you can see on chow, the shapes are cut out so she can, it's easy for her to fit the shapes into the chow. I guess chow is a cat? I'm not really sure.
I have no idea.
And see, she's just fitting the shapes in there into the puzzle. It's like a little puzzle. And this is a level 0 just because it's simple and they're cut out for her. Very good, Marlon. So she put all the shapes into chow, and she made a little, what'd you make? A little cat? Cat. Something like that. Okay. So now I'm going to give her, for level 1, is just, these are shapes, different shapes with, that she can, regular shapes that she can categorize. Irregular and regular shapes. So can you group those for me, Marlon? Okay, so I see you have 5 groups? 4 groups. You have 4 groups. And why did you group them the way you grouped them?
Well, these are all pink, but I mean, that's not really, I grouped them by, all these have 5 sides, and they are more, like the sides are different sizes. Some have long, some are short, and they're pointy. These are like really pointy, actually.
And are they like really any shapes? Are they just...
Not anything normal that I would see, usually. And so those are those. These I grouped because they all have 4 sides, and these are like squares and rectangles and like rhombus. These aren't your typical 4-sided shapes, but they still have 4 sides, so they're in that category.
Okay.
And then these are triangles because they have 3 sides. There's no curves to them. They've got 3 angles, and they're triangles.
Okay, good job.
And then these are grouped together because they don't like, not all the sides are straight.
Right.
They've got rounded
Rounded
sides, like the circle, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and the moon, and yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, this is level 1 because she grouped them and said why they were what they were. She said the terms like the square, the triangle, the rhombus, and all the sides. There's some are pointy and some are rounded and stuff like that. So now she is going to do the dog with the tangram. She's going to do the dog with the tangram, and she is going to put these tangram sides into the dog. So can you do that for me, Marlon?
Yeah.
And as you can see with this dog, it's not cut out for her, so she's going to actually put the shapes into the dog without having it basically cut out like the other. And again, this is a level 1. Okay, so she made a dog. Okay, and that is Module 5 Geometry using level 0 and level 1.